What's happening, everybody? Look at this mean peach looking pod. It looks kind of orange from what I'm looking at, but it's definitely a peach. Um, there it looks a little more peach. Look at the characteristics of this pepper. The shape. Very gnarly looking pod. And it's fat. I mean, that's a fat pod right there. Anyways, this is a NK Peach Fiend. It's a 7-pop pink crossed with a Butte Orange Copenhagen, or a BOC. I don't know if I've ever had a 7-pop pink before, but as we all know, 7-pots are generally pretty wicked hot. You know, no matter the variety, they're all pretty wild. Butte Orange Copenhagen's is a good pod. That was one of the first super hot peppers I had ever eaten a while back. I believe that particular pepper is around 800,000 on the Scoville scale, the Butte Orange Copenhagen. 7 pots are usually a million plus, so this should be warm. And it's a peach pod. Last time I had a peach pod, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, it was this summer, but it wrecked me on an empty stomach. Today I'm not on an empty stomach all the way, but we'll see what goes on. Again, this was from Nick Kemp's and HellGarden chilies. Just look at the characteristics on that pepper, man. I can't get over it. I mean, the phenotype on this particular pod, I don't know if they all look that way because I can't find much information on this particular pepper. I got the cross information from the grower, which is Nick Kemp's, and this is his cross. But I couldn't find any other reviews on this pepper, online, and so definitely no Scoville scale. So see what we got. Oh, it's a lot of pepper. It tastes just like a Butte Orange Copenhagen right off the bat. Mm. It's mean. It's a mean one. We're getting there, I promise you. For the birds. Funny thing about that, I don't ever see any birds over here. Ooh. Ah, whoa. So, right when I, excuse me, got the throat a little bit. Right when I got towards about that much left in the pepper, is when it finally clicked in my head to think about what the flavor of this pepper was. Because up until that point, I didn't really have a flavor that I could pinpoint. You know, usually I can get that flavor right off the bat. And then while I'm eating the rest of the pepper, I don't think about it much. And then during the afterburns, when we talk about the peppers, and I like to talk about the burn profile and the flavor profiles, I've already got that long before the flavor. And so then it's mostly just trying to talk about the heat, which is best to do last anyways, because it builds usually, or whatever it might be doing. So that's interesting, is that I wasn't picking up a flavor at all, didn't even think about it. Therefore, this pepper's pretty smooth. It's you know, there wasn't much flavor there. But then when I kind of thought about it, keyed in toward the last little bit of that pepper, it was a little bit sweet. You know, for like a super hot. And I guess we could say citrusy. But a very hard pepper for me to determine a true flavor profile on. Like I said, it was just smooth. I didn't get a whole lot of flavor. I mean, it was just eating a pepper. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. Now the burn was immediate, and it's still building now. It's a slow build. It's not a creeper, but it's a slow build. And it's an all over front of the mouth burn. The whole front part of my mouth is on fire. And an interesting spot that it's burning pretty good is right behind my two front teeth on the back side of them. On the gum on the back side is lit up pretty good. A little bit in the throat, but not terrible. This one got my nose running a little bit. My nose runs, you know, pretty much with all super hots, I've noticed. And I know that it's something extremely hot if I start beading sweat or my eyes water. And that hasn't happened in a while. Anyways, very nice pepper. Smooth, even burn, decent flavor. Not much there though. I mean, it's just pretty easy to eat. I mean, that pepper was big. That's a lot of pepper to chew down. Not a lot of seeds in there. I mean, a decent amount, but nothing crazy. Again, that was from Nick Kemp's, and that's his cross. Peach Fiend. Again, I love his names on his pods. Like, yesterday's the Hades. This one, the orange porch monster, all of those are his pods. And I'll say, man, he came through really, really solid on the box of pods that he sent me. So Nick, if you catch this, thanks, brother. Really came through. And all of his peppers that he sent, just about all of them, I mean, they're big. These are big pods. These aren't, these little fuckers, man. These are mean ones, man. And these are pods that, you gotta, for me, take your time with, chew them up, swallow them down, and ride it, This has a good lip burn as well. I feel like we're coming down now a little bit. Good little endorphins, but nothing, not too crazy. You know what I mean? I feel a little bit lightheaded. But nothing too crazy, so. I've got bits of that pepper just stuck in my teeth, though. It might have been a seed. Anyways, man, I cut my nail. I was shaving, and I dropped the razor. I don't know how it's happened. This has happened to me a few times. So this isn't the first time. I dropped it somehow and tried catching it or something. I don't remember. And I cut my nail. So you cut your nail, at like an angle. It's weird. And so now it just keeps snagging on everything. I'm trying to cut it back, but anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here for peppers and hot shit. But now that's it. That's all I got. I appreciate y'all for watching. That's a fun little pepper. Really interesting pod. Again, beautiful characteristics. A beautiful peach color on it. Overall, that's a high quality pepper. I mean, from the shape, the type, the phenotype of it, the color, the burn profile is nice. It's not too overpowering. It's definitely super hot level, but it's not too overpowering. That would be a good beginner super hot pod. I think it might be too hot. I mean, it feels hotter than a ghost pepper. You know what I mean? But that would be a good pod for, something like after a ghost pepper to try out. It's just big. That was a big one, so. And again, I've talked about it before, but, you have your big peppers and your little peppers. And, the heat on them is very similar. A lot of times for me, I don't notice like the bigger pods don't always seem like so much hotter than the little ones. But sometimes for me personally, and I don't know about everybody else, that enjoys this too, right? But for me, the difference here and the reason that the bigger pods are more worrisome or more hot or I react more when I'm eating bigger ones is because just the sheer amount. And I think that makes sense, right? Like just the amount that you're having to chew. I chew a lot, and and so when I have a little pod, it's less chewing for me, right? So it's less burning. It's less time it's in the mouth. It's less time. It's less time for everything. And that's why, the bigger pods sometimes maybe seem to me to be hotter a lot of the times, but they're really not all the time. It's just because of the sheer amount of consumption that you're taking down, so. Figured that was worth mentioning. Anyways, that was from HellGarden's Nick Kemp's Peach Fiend. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.